The weather's getting colder. Stopped raining up here, thank God. So it's soup time. Something nice and warm and cosy. I love soup. And one of my favourite soups is Pea and Ham Soup. And this recipe is so easy. I used to buy a pestle, what we call a pestle up here, like a gammon hock, and spend hours boiling it and then scraping the meat off and then cutting it up and blah 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 blah. But now I've discovered a bit of a hack really, and that's to go to the deli counter at the supermarket and buy some ham on the bone, some slices of ham on the bone. It's saved me hours. So the main ingredients are dried peas, best thing in the world. You'll normally find them where the like the lentils and the dried kidney beans and all that are. Now I usually use the quick soak ones, but they didn't have any this week, so these ones, all you do is put them in some boiling water. They come with some special tablets that help rehydrate the peas, because they're like bullets when they come out the packet. And the quick soak ones take about 4 hours to hydrate again. These ones are more like an overnight soak. I put these in last night before I went to bed, and it's about, I don't know, it's about 2 o'clock now I think. So this is what they look like now. I've rinsed them. Still quite hard, still need cooking, but they're such a vibrant green as well. So we've got the peas, just 1 packet of peas. This will make enough soup for 4 or 5 good portions. We have a couple of carrots, just roughly chopped. I like them quite chunky. I only had a very, very big, like the size of a baby's head, brown onion. So there's half a brown onion in there. I've got 150 grams of the ham, which I've chopped. The ham off the bone is really good because they tend to cut it quite thickly, which is what you want. And then I have got a pint of chicken stock here. We will add some more water later. Now the first thing I'm going to do is just soften up the onions and the carrots in my big pan with a little bit of oil. So we'll come back when those are softened up. That's the onions and carrots softened. Probably just below medium heat, just gently for about 10 minutes. And so now we can put the rest of the ingredients in. So we'll just throw our peas in. Put the ham in. This recipe actually works out. I was just working it out. If you get, say, 5 portions out of this, thinking about it, you probably get more actually, but if you get 5 good portions out of this, it works out about 85p a portion. So, you know, it's a cheap and filling meal. I'll just put the stock in. Now I'm just going to add the same again in hot water. So there's 2 pints of water going in there, which is about just over a litre of water. Give it a good mix around. I'm also going to put some herbs in. Now I could go out in the garden and pick some, but I absolutely love these from Aldi. They do mixed herbs. I mean, there's rosemary, oregano, basil, parsley in here, They do ginger, garlic, chilli, and they're just so easy to use. So just keep them out of the fridge once they're opened, and just put a squidge, probably about a couple of teaspoons in there. And it's instant herbs. It's a bit like a bouquet garni, but instant. White pepper. I like white pepper in this soup. It gives it a bit of a little bit of heat, shall we say. I'm not going to season it yet because ham is quite salty. So once this has been cooking a while, I will taste it and then I will adjust the salt. Sometimes you get ham that's very, very salty, and sometimes you get, you know, it's not as salty, so you need to add some. Always best to check before you salt. I know when I used to do it with the pestle, the gammon joint, you'd have to soak them in cold water first for a couple of hours, and then I used to boil it, and after about half an hour change the water and put clean water in. Otherwise they are so salty it is inedible. In fact, my darling grandma who taught me this recipe, I remember once she made it without soaking it or changing the water, and it was just, we couldn't eat it. It was such a shame. So we'll put this on now, and simmer it with a lid on for about half an hour, and I'll come back and show you what it looks like when it's simmered. That's been simmering away now for a while, and as you can see, it's thickened up nicely. Pea and ham soup, when it goes cold, you know, if you put the rest in the fridge or whatever, it goes solid. But don't let that worry you. Just warm it up again and it will go to liquid again. So let me show you. There's loads of ham and carrots and peas in there. So that is pea and ham soup. Let me know if you give it a try. I'd made some bread this morning, or I'm making some bread this morning because I couldn't be bothered to go out to the shops because I don't feel well. I think it's risen, don't you? Okay, so I have knocked it back and put it back in the bowl, covered it over and left it to rise for another hour. And it's huge, so I'm going to get it out now, put it on the tray and get it in the oven. Okay, so I've got it out onto the tray. Use my trusty scalpel to make some cuts in the top. Not entirely sure if those are going to work, but let's see. It's not the neatest loaf of bread ever. So I'm going to bob this in the oven for about half an hour. I'm also going to bob a tray of hot water underneath it because that will create steam. Ouch, I've already heated the tray. Oh, sorry. That will create steam to create a crust on the bread. So I'll just get that in the oven. Just a little bit of hot water there. There we go. The oven is on 220 and we'll leave that for half an hour. Just burnt myself then, as I always do. good. Let's just turn it upside down and give it a knock. I might have to come back to this, hang on a sec. Okay. That sounds quite hollow. Right, leave it to cool and see what it's like. Hopefully, I don't think I've got a soggy bottom anyway. Okay, let's give this bread a try. It's been a while since I've cooked any bread. This crusty outer. Let's have a look at my crumb. What would Paul Wall Hollywood say to that, do you think? It's quite open. Good bounce back. So now I'm going to butter it and have a piece. Ooh, warm bread out the oven. Is there anything better? Oh, give it a go. That's not bad. It's very nice.